Our first guest tonight is a very bright and funny man who did 7 years behind the desk at The Daily Show. He is also a best-selling author who has a new book for kids. It's called Into the Uncut Grass. Please welcome Trevor Noah.
I could not be better. First of all, can I just say thank you? Jimmy waited for me outside on the sidewalk, welcomed me in.
I was hoping you'd flip me a shiny nickel on my way in.
That was special, Jimmy. That was great.
I do it for all the guests. Yeah, isn't that strange? Have you ever, did you go and talk to the guests before they would come into The Daily Show?
Yeah, but I mean, not in the streets. I mean,
right.
Nobody. I do think that would be a fun thing to do, though, is just wait out in the street. Imagine what it would be like, right? You're coming to Jimmy Kimmel, and then, like, in the street, you see a man who looks like Jimmy Kimmel, like, waving at you in your car. You should do that.
It would be like if you went to Disneyland and you entered the parking lot and Mickey was working the booth, right? A little weird, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he's sticking with that story, though. At least the lie is consistent in that case. Did you ever have Trump on the show?
No, we never did.
He did say some bad things about you on...
I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
Yeah, I do. I keep up with it. Yeah,
but you have like a feud with him. You have like a real... So here's what I've noticed. Like, Trump's annoyance at people is directly proportional to how big they were when he, like, focused on the media. Does that make sense?
I see, yeah, right.
So, like, Time Magazine is still the biggest thing in his life. And then, obviously, Jimmy Kimmel, SNL, if they insult him, he gets really angry about it.
Yeah.
I'm so new to him that he's just like, that guy. You know what I mean?
I have a little extra something with him because he used to really like me. I'm not sure exactly why, and I broke his little heart somehow. I think that he's...
You realize you could rekindle a friendship and change this country?
Oh, yeah. No, well, I don't think it would change the country. I know I could rekindle the friendship with one compliment. That would be all it takes. And that's why he's such a terrible choice for president. Because you can turn him around with a simple comment. I mean, he loves people he hated 5 minutes ago.
One hug, Jimmy. One hug.
One hug, right around the midsection.
One hug. You just go in there, one hug. You change the world.
How are you doing since you left the show? Are you experiencing feelings of depression, anxiety, hopelessness? Is it?
You know what? I'm good. I miss the vibe. You know, like, I mean, like, days like today. Obviously, you know, you watch Trump at a rally and he's dancing for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I miss that.
You miss that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's just free content. That's like one of those things where you go like, wow. Well, but for the most part, no. I'm traveling more. I'm enjoying being on the road. I get time to write books, try other things. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about your book because I read it to my kids last night and I want to give you their review on it. But
yes.
But as far as the road goes, you like that? Because I would think one of the nice things about doing The Daily Show was you got to do jokes, but you get to go to the same office every single day.
Yeah, it's good. But there's something about traveling, you know, and discovering a new thing and seeing something different. And then also, I like being irritated by everyday things. I know this is a strange thing, but I actually love, like, for instance, like, just people on a plane. I still don't understand why they stand up before the doors are open.
It's maddening.
No, but I love it. I get angry at it, but I love it. But I'll, like, sit there.
You love it?
Yeah, I don't know how to... You know when you, like... It's like hate watching something, but I do it in real life with people. So I'll be sitting... My favorite is if I'm on the aisle, then they try and stand, and then they look at me, and then I just sit there looking at them, and they're in like a contorted position.
Yeah.
And I just sit there, and then... But they want to say, like, hey, are you going to get out? And then I go like, oh, no, the doors are not open. And
everybody's in a rush to get in a certain spot.
But why?
Yes, why?
Why, Jimmy? The doors are not open.
It's a great question.
You just rush and then you just stand.
Do you find that is more prevalent in the United States than it is in other countries?
It's the same in most countries.
Really?
The only place where I didn't find that was in Japan.
Oh, yes, in Japan.
Yeah, no, in Japan, everything works the way it's supposed to work. Like, Japan's gift is its curse. Everything works, everything is precise, but then it also means that people don't connect in the same way. Like, in America, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit crazy, it has a vibe, it's, you know what I mean? But, like, you might bump into Jimmy Kimmel on the sidewalk. It's that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know? I appreciate that. I think every country
You know what? You're
vibe.
furthering this sidewalk lie about me, and this is how things get started.
This is how you keep things things going. That's what I want to do now. Keep things going.
The first time you were here was 2015. The Mets were in the World Series. I've seen you go to some of the Mets games. Are you watching the playoffs right now, Mets and the Dodgers?
No.
No, you're not.
No.
You've abandoned us completely.
What do you mean abandoned? The first and only time I went to a Mets game was because Jerry Seinfeld invited me. In fact, invited is the wrong thing. He sort of kidnapped me. So Jerry invited me to do Comedians in Cars, right? And so he picks you up and you're in the car and then he drives you around. And then we drove around, and I think we drove around for longer than he planned. And then he was like, the Mets game is on. And he's like, we're going to the Mets game. And I was like, okay, I guess. Because what are you going to say? No, Jerry. So I was like, yeah, we're going to the Mets game. And then we're at a Mets game, you know what I mean? And then Larry David's there, and then Jerry's there, and then I'm there. And they're like explaining baseball to me. And people are like, Trevor's a fan. I'm like, no. I'm like, where are these people going? What's happening here? I don't know anything about baseball.
Oh, so you don't care at all?
No, why do you make it negative? I don't know anything about it. You want the headline, Trevor Noah doesn't care about baseball. No, I don't understand
Okay, I'll put it this way. You care about everything else more than you care about that. Is that positive enough? Trevor Noah is here, everybody. His book is called Into the Uncut Grass. We'll be right back. You're back with Trevor Noah. This is his book. It's for your kids. It's called Into the Uncut Grass, and I read it to my children, Jane and Billy.
I'm dying to know what they thought.
They enjoyed the book. I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback from my daughter.
I'm completely in.
So there's two characters in the book.
Yes.
There's a teddy bear and the boy.
So there's Walter and the boy.
Walter's the teddy bear. The boy is just the boy. My daughter, 9 times. What's the boy's name? She wants to know what the boy's name is.
But that's what I love about the story is you don't have to have a name. It's not about that. And I think it's stranger and it pulls you in because you don't know the boy's name. Do you know what I mean?
I told him
the bear's Walter, and then it's just like the boy.
I told her the boy's name was Trevor because I was sick of hearing her say that it was the boy's name. So is the boy you?
I love the idea of you getting angry reading children's books with your kids. You're just like, the boy's name is Trevor. Move on.
Oh, there's
Have a good night,
deal.
sweetie.
There's a very good deal of yelling that goes into every night of reading. Yes, is sit down, stop moving around. Do you want me to read this? I'll stop reading this.
This is them to you or you to them?
No, this is me to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A very sweet book and reminded me. Is the kid based on you at all? Because
So what happened was I wanted to write a book. I know this is it's a lofty idea, but I wanted to write a book about conflict resolution. And then I was like, you can go like the whole academic approach and you can sit down with experts and you can. But I was like, but conflict resolution fundamentally starts when we're children, right? So how do you resolve conflict? How do you deal with conflict in your life? A lot of that is formed by your relationship with your parents. You know, they teach you how to fight, they teach you how to make up, they teach you how to see an argument and yourself in it. And so I wanted to write a book that was about that, but in like the simplest way, not make it complicated, not make it like about like a hard issue. It's a boy who doesn't want to make his bed because it's a Saturday. He decides to run away from home. And then in the uncut grass, he meets all these magical characters that help him reckon with the idea of conflict, with the idea of the bed and his mom.
I'm now seeing the irony in me yelling at the children during the book about conflict resolution. That hadn't really dawned on me until just now. Okay, so one of the strategies that the snails have in the book is when they disagree on something, like this snail wants to go on this path with the grass, and this snail wants to go on the shorter path with the rocks. They do each other's ideas. So the snail, you know what I'm saying, and then at the end, so that's an interesting strategy.
So here's the thing. So one of the things we take for granted at times is we think that we are right until we're wrong.
Yes.
Everybody. I don't know anybody who argues thinking that they're wrong. Everyone's like, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. And then you discover that you're wrong. And then because you've tied yourself to the idea that you had, you now can't let it go. And we see this with everything. We see it with politics. We see it in relationships. We see it with friendships. Like people go, well, I still think that. And it's like, you were wrong. But now you don't want to let go of the wrongness because it's tied to you. And so in that story, really what's happening is the snails are going, I'll try it your way. You try it my way. And let's see what we discover on that journey. Because there may be things that I discover about your way of seeing the world or your way of doing something that might inform me differently. Does that make sense?
It makes
so it's
a
not
lot
even
of
about
sense.
like right or wrong. It's just about like, can you try it from my perspective?
It makes a lot of sense, but it also makes it very clear to me that you do not have children, specifically a boy and a girl.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
Actually, it's funny you say that. Can I tell you? One of the best reviews I got was from. I love it. I love that kids give me the reviews. Like adults will like intellectualize things. Kids are honest. And one of the best things the kids said to me about the book was they said, Mr. Trevor, can I tell you? I really enjoyed the book. It was fantastic. It goes like, but you know what I also realized with you is that like you made me realize that parents that don't have kids are really the best kinds of parents. And I was like, me? He's like, yeah, you're a cool parent. I was like, oh, you mean adult? He's like, it's the same thing. And you are right. I think I am a little more chill with young people.
And the
because
book's
I don't
kind of
have them.
about a kid who doesn't want to have a parent, at least for part of the book.
Yes,
And
yes.
Are you a kid who, like, well, are you an adult who makes your bed? That's a, I
So,
think.
okay, so here's the thing. Whether you make your bed or not is almost irrelevant to me. What I do have, I have a
Means
problem.
a lot to me.
I
I
have a
need to find
problem. I already know what kind of person you are.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a problem with people, especially bed makers, who believe that is the only way to live, and they look down upon the non-bed makers, and they'll be like, how can you start your day? It's very easy to start your day like that. You get out of the bed and you leave. And a lot of people don't realize this. Your bed needs to breathe. You can sweat almost a cup of sweat during the night.
At least.
You're just like covering the bed up.
No, I'm on your side. I'm a non-bed
you're a non-bed maker.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, my man.
Yes, yeah. No,
Okay, good. Do your kids make the bed?
You see, that's the best way to resolve a conflict is you do it your way, and I also do it your way, which happens to be my way as well, and we have a very messy bed together. Trevor Noah, everybody. This is the book. It's called Into the Uncut Grass. And we'll be back with Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock.